That's a tough one. That's a tough one because remember the last 2 fights that Charles had, he got hurt. Chandler hurt him pretty bad in the first round, and he came back super strong, right? But Dustin, the same thing. He got hurt, not as bad, but he got hurt earlier on, and he came on pretty strong. So, can Justin hurt him like that right away? And the only difference, I think, in my personal opinion, is I think Justin's more of a killer. He's more of a killer, and if he hurts Charles, he just might finish him. You know, we won't know till the fight happens, but this is what I say. Early, I give Justin. Late, I give Oliveira, because he's shown that. He's shown that he's resilient, and he comes on stronger. He gets better as the rounds go on.
Ele sabe o problema que ele tem. Essa é real. O cara mais embaçado da categoria do leve chama Charles Oliveira. Esse cara é um problema. Eu sou um problema nessa divisão. Eu sou o cara que troca porrada, eu sou o cara que faço S, eu faço jiu-jitsu. Se os caras do S é bom, eles me voltam pra baixo, eles fazem aquilo que você faz de melhor. Se os trocadores vêm, eu troco porrada com eles e eu volto eles pra baixo, ou até mesmo eles me voltam pra baixo. Então eu sou um problema na divisão. O caras que eles pensavam que era um fenômeno, que era um monstro, e realmente esse cara que era o Dust Poirier. Vocês viram, eu troquei porrada de igual para igual no primeiro round com o cara. No segundo round, todo mundo pegou, viu o que aconteceu no segundo round. Sabe, eu falei, mano, eu não cortei ele porque pelo fato de ser muito grande, ele ficava me abafando o tempo inteiro, não bateu. E o terceiro round, vocês viram que não foi, eu voltei bem melhor. Aí agora eu falo pro mundo da luta, os caras, os especialistas da luta. Quando vocês viram o Dust Poirier olhando pro tempo, o tempo inteiro desesperado? Quando vocês viram o primeiro round, ele senta daquele jeito morto? Nunca viram.
Sempre latindo.
Sabe, o cara tava morto, por quê? O meu espírito era um espírito de campeão. E o Dust Gaethje estava ali na primeira fila. Ele viu, ele sabe o problema que ele se meteu. Entendeu? Então, tipo assim, eu não sei se é ele, se é o Conor, como todo mundo tá falando que vai ser, só que esses caras sabem o problema que ele estão se metendo. Se eles não trocar porrada comigo, eles vão tomar porrada do meu jeito.
For one, they're creating a false confidence and a false bravado, and it's the worst thing you can do in there. Like, again, that's what I'm counting on. A portion of his confidence is false right now, and I know that. And that's because I've seen it. You know, that's because it's in him, and that's because, you know, he's fought for so long. It's the best way for me to approach this chaotic situation. I think if you try to create a bunch of facades and try to mask feelings, then I think, you know, when it all rushes to you on that walk, that's when you become absolutely terrified. You might as well accept it now. Accept the worst case scenario. What is the worst possible thing that could happen on that night? Not even getting knocked out. I mean, me falling into a grappling situation and him choking me out in, say, the first like 3 minutes, that would be absolutely embarrassing, devastating, you know, but I have to be okay with that, and then I have to understand that is real. And then with that is like, so him choking me is death in my mind, because if there's no ref, you know, here we are. And even the chance of chronic injury if, you know, something happens. So I make that as real as possible, and you have to be honest about that. And then when it's real, you allow the most natural instincts, which is adrenaline and all the endorphins, the DMT, like who knows what we release. When you're in a real life and death situation, we go to certain special places, and I have found comfort there. And it's a great place to be. I don't know why I only want to go there twice a year, but it is really, really comfortable there. Time slows down, there's no noise. It's weird, it's a weird time, and I love it. I'm gonna win, I know it. I have a feeling deep inside me, so I'm excited to get it done.
I'm always excited for a Justin Gaethje fight. Like, that's no question about it. No thoughts to it not being exciting and fun. Now, the new Charles Oliveira, he is a stone cold killer. I mean, dude's a killer. He will literally walk you down like a cyborg. He goes forward, he's face first, he takes whatever you give him to get to the position that can help him dominate. Now, Gaethje's very aware. That's one thing people don't understand about Justin, is for as good of a fighter as he is, he's much more smart than people give him credit for. He knows where to fight and how to fight. I know it seems like he's just in there giving one, taking one, giving one, taking one, until eventually he wears his guys down. But the dude knows how to set traps. He knows how to really make reads on his opponents to make them make mistakes, which ultimately he capitalizes on over and over and over again. Problem is, Dude Bronx doesn't really make mistakes anymore.
If you're going to talk about what's Justin Gaethje's route to victory here, distance control. Distance control is everything for Justin Gaethje in this, because the clinch can be a problem for him, because it takes one slip, one little mistake, and now you've got a guy that is a frickin' python on your back, and you're fighting for your life. You're defending, and it just becomes this bad, evil spiral that keeps on coming at you. So distance control for Justin Gaethje. Make Charles Oliveira pay in that at least boxing zone. He can box with him, no problem. His kicks are very quick. They're short. He can still throw his kicks to the legs inside. He can upset his balance. And if there's one thing that Charles does, Charles brings his hands up very high for his defense in a lot of it, but he can be split down the middle. And Justin Gaethje's got a beautiful right uppercut, left hook that he throws. And when he throws that, it's got bad intentions on it, and Charles has a tendency, when he sees something, to start dipping his head down. That uppercut will raise his head up, and that hook will put him to sleep. So what I see for Justin Gaethje is, first off, don't go and try to knock his head off. What you want to do is, I want you to just start putting dents in him. Just keep on touching him, make him start to slow down his ability to defend. Keep that distance control. Don't come into the clinch situations. Obviously, stay away from putting your back against the cage. If you put your back against the cage, it's going to be bad. Try to put him on his back foot, which is not going to be easy now, because Charles Oliveira is very good at least holding his ground. He will try to come forward, but he will at least hold his ground. So let him hold his ground. You hold your ground and keep that distance control, and just start piecing him up in this fight, and you will become the champion.
Oliveira's on a 10-fight win streak. Since he's arrived in the lightweight division, I think his record's 11-1. I mean, he just looks like he's found his right weight class. He looks healthy, he looks confident. His striking game is increasing from one fight to the next, and his ground game is already relatively untouchable. So he provides a lot of problems for Justin Gaethje. But Justin Gaethje comes in supremely prepared. He comes in with his weapons sharpened, because he's been working them 10 weeks. I mean, watch his documentary, Road to Gold. You can see his work ethic. You can see how hard he trains. There's nothing particularly complex about what he's doing, but the way that he uses his techniques is very well educated. Charles Oliveira, I don't know where the limit is for this individual. Even before he was the champion, a lot of people were saying he's destined to hold that belt one day. For Justin Gaethje, I feel when he stepped into the UFC, he felt like he was destined to be a champion. He had one opportunity and it didn't work out for him. He got submitted. Is he going to get submitted the second time around? I mean, Dustin Poirier has had the same experience with Khabib and with Charles Oliveira. It wouldn't surprise me if we see the same thing for Justin Gaethje. But the point of difference is the clubbing right hand that comes over the top, and the fact that Charles Oliveira, he is hittable in that first round. He likes to engage his opponents, and if he engages Justin Gaethje too early, it might be the end of him. It might be the end of his win streak, and it might be the end of his title run. And then we'll see Justin Gaethje on the throne after all. But who knows? To get through Charles Oliveira and get that belt off him, there are a whole plethora of different problems that Gaethje's got to solve beforehand. What a fight this is. What a fight.